Hey Ospreys, welcome to the first episode of the weekly wrap-up with me, Hayes Brubaker.
And me, Jessica Lee.
On this show, we'll be talking about some of the bigger stories from each week. Some of the topics will be sort of a recap from what the other anchors here at Inside Swoop have covered each week on their shows, and some stories will be unique just to this show.
And on today's show, we'll be talking about a new mosquito virus,
A government monitoring private companies,
X being banned in Brazil,
Sean Kingston,
and the Minnesota State Fair.
Do you want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
All right. Did you know that the world's deadliest animal is not a tiger, it's not a bear, and it's not a mosquito? It is a mosquito. Well, we're just going to keep rolling with it because this is a mainly unscripted show, actually.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention it.
Yeah, so I did not know that the deadliest animal was a mosquito.
Yep.
What's going on with mosquitoes?
So, they're carrying a new virus.
Are they?
Yep. You've heard of it?
I've heard of it.
What's
the West Nile virus?
Yes, the West Nile virus.
Yes, if you guys don't know, whenever they bite into your skin and drain your blood from you, they can also pick up germs and viruses and spread them to other people. And this is kind of how this virus came along. Some of the symptoms can range from a really bad fever to your brain swelling, which can be deadly.
Yeah, that does not sound good. I will say, though, it is important to clarify some specific statistics. AP said that most people don't actually experience symptoms when they get infected, and only about 1 out of 50 people even develop a serious illness to begin with. So, but if you do develop a serious illness, it can be pretty bad and sometimes even fatal.
What are the officials saying?
The officials are saying that you need to stay indoors or at least cover up and wear some bug repellent if you go in
this
the
weather,
woods.
cover up, I can't do that.
Yeah, in
I'd
Florida
rather
it's a
get
little bit
stung.
tough. Oh wow, oh wow.
Bold statement. Okay, well, what's the next topic?
The next topic is we're going to turn around and talk about Telegram. The CEO of Telegram got arrested in France earlier this week, for those who haven't heard. One of our other anchors, River Dodd, covered this story in his What's Up With That show. If you missed it and want more details, you can check it out there.
Yes.
But yes, he was arrested in France, and the update is that he got released. Oh, we got a picture on the screen here. He got released, but the reason he was arrested in the first place is because he was accused of allowing illegal activity on his site, such as drug trafficking and money laundering.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's the update with that?
The update with that, well, I guess there's not really an update with that aspect. That's still, the allegations are still there. But he just got released from French prison. And the only issue is, I should have brought an actual script onto here, but we're learning as we go.
Yes.
Let's see. If you want to scroll down a little bit, we'll just keep going. Okay.
What do I think about
Yeah, what do you think about it?
With the messaging apps, I think that they should be responsible. I don't think they should be responsible. I mean, for anything that happens, I think it's kind of hard to regulate the messaging apps, especially if you want governments to start regulating it.
Yeah.
They do have that power, but I just think that it comes down to user privacy when it comes to them getting involved.
And it seems to be, this is getting into the realm of speculation, but it seems to be that the reason that the CEO of what's it called? Telegram. CEO of Telegram, of course, his name's, what's his name? Something Pavel.
I don't know
Pavel
his name.
Durov, that's what it is. Pavel Durov. Anyway, the reason he was arrested in the first place seems to be because the French government and the European government in general wanted to control what was happening and control some narratives on his site. But that's speculation. We won't get into that too much. But the question is, should companies be responsible for this? Should messaging corporations or messaging services be responsible for what happens?
Right?
Yeah, like Gmail. So should Google be responsible for what happens on Gmail? I don't think so.
I agree. I don't think so. I think I know that Google is private when it comes to Gmail and stuff. And again, there's user privacy or things to consider.
Yes.
And I think that the government should only be able to access those whatever documents if there's a need, if there's a court case or something like that. But if not, they shouldn't be regulating it.
I agree. So definitely, as a whole, I would say it's good that they released him, and they shouldn't be keeping the CEO of Pavel, or the CEO of Telegram in jail. Okay, anyway, moving on.
So kind of along the same line, X was recently banned in Brazil.
Yes.
because of one of the Brazilian Supreme Court justices. According to AP News, he threatened to have the ex-representative that was stationed in Brazil arrested.
Yes.
So in response, Elon Musk had to pull the representative out of the country to prevent her from being arrested. What do you think about that?
So yes, X no longer has any representatives in Brazil. That's
None.
why the Brazilian government, and specifically the Brazilian Supreme Court, had the ability to just ban the platform across the whole country.
Yeah.
This again seems like a case where government wanted to control a specific narrative. I think Elon and his team made the right decision to take the representative out and to stand by their commitment to free speech.
I agree. I think this really coincides with the other story that we just covered.
Yeah.
But moving along, we're going to keep it in the courthouse. Sean Kingston found himself in a little bit of a pickle
Yes, he did.
in the court when he and his mother pleaded not guilty earlier to organized fraud and grand theft. Just as a little background information, they were charged back in October of 2023 for defrauding so many businesses, smaller businesses and big businesses, of more than $1 million.
See, some of the businesses do include a jewelry store, a luxury mattress store,
Right.
and a exotic car dealership, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. But I'm just a bit confused by the motivation behind these crimes, basically. I know Sean Kingston is a successful musician, so I
Yeah.
don't really know why he'd be motivated, because these happened recently. This isn't a very new thing.
And he has so much money,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I know.
And he has a name for himself. Why does he feel the need to take from small businesses
Yeah.
like that, even the big ones, take from other people to benefit himself? I just don't get it. But
I
he
don't-
did plead not guilty.
So
So,
may-
these
may-
are all allegations.
Maybe he's not guilty, but
Maybe, but it's
I almost hope he's not.
been going
but-
on for a year.
Yeah,
so.
so the chances are likely. To wrap up the show, we do have a fun story for you. I was recently up in Minnesota,
Yes.
and I had the opportunity to go to the Minnesota State Fair, which is one of the biggest fairs in the country.
That's
I
fun.
believe it's the second biggest. I think Texas has a bigger one.
It's called the Minnesota State Fair.
It's called the Minnesota State Fair, but I think the Texas State Fair is bigger because everything's bigger. in
Was it really
Texas.
busy when you went?
It was super, super busy. There was, actually not even estimated, according to the
Look at all those
Minnesota State
people.
Fair. Oh yeah, look at all these people. According to the Minnesota State Fair website, 1.9 million people visited the fair over the 12 days. 1.9
That's
million.
crazy. And you were part of that.
I was one
1.9.
part. And if you look, I guess you can't really see it from over there, it's really far, but my family is right here, and there's my
Oh.
sister peeking over the trash can.
Huh.
So a little cameo. But yes, it was really fun. They have all sorts of fair food, obviously. They have some rides. I think we have a picture of a Ferris wheel, maybe. Oh, there's a slide, very fun, and then there's a big Ferris wheel. But lots of food, lots of rides, lots of fun. If you ever
I
get
love fair food.
You do?
Yes.
What's your
don't
favorite?
you?
No, I don't really.
Too greasy.
Too greasy.
I really like funnel cake.
Funnel cake.
Yes, any kind of funnel cake. It's so good. It's so bad for you. It's
It
just
is.
carbs and bad, but it's so good.
Also, this is the
Okay.
Minnesota special and the Wisconsin special.
curds.
Cheese curds, because they're big on cheese. And
Do you like cheese curds?
No, I don't. They're
I love
fine. I've
cheese.
had them before, but they're not that good. I mean, not my thing at least.
Okay.
You want to wrap it up?
Sure. So, well, that's all we have for today. Make sure you tune in to Inside Swoop on Facebook and Instagram to find more details about the stories that we covered from our amazing team members.
Yep. Thank you for tuning in to this very first episode of the weekly wrap up with Hayes and the lovely
Jessica.
Jessica. And we'll see you next week.